Right. Good evening, students. And I would like to introduce our team first. And starting with Vicky. Vicky, you want to introduce yourself?
Thank you, Samia. Hi, welcome everybody, and thank you for joining us. My name's Vicky Potts, and I'm the head of Department of Business.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Samia. Welcome everybody. Thank you for coming along this evening. My name's Lisa Burbage-Brown. I'm one of the lecturers here in the Business School.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Samir Modi. I'm the course leader for BA Business Management. And how the day is going to unfold today is I'm going to talk a bit about our business school and take you through a few courses within the business school. And then Lisa and I have planned an activity for you, which should be a fun activity, post which we'll take any questions you have. But in the meanwhile, if you do have any questions, do post them in the chat box, and we assure you we can address them as we go along, right? Now, our team has extensively spoken to students and businesses and developed our curriculum underpinning 4 key pillars, as you can see on your screen right now. Now, we thought it was important to embed these pillars into our curriculum. And I'll go through a few points why we think these 4 pillars are extremely important, starting with sustainability. Now, in the past, and many business courses, they see business functions in isolation. Now, yes, we need to understand what the marketing function does. We need to understand what the HR function does and the supply chain function. But we wanted students to see a very holistic view of how businesses run and the interdependence of these business functions on each other to then attain that competitive advantage to earn that market share and profit in the business environment. And sustainability, we thought, is key because if you see the awareness of climate change, resource scarcity, and the social injustice, as we can see in the news these days, it's on the rise. And our customers, the community, is more and more aware of these things now, which holds these corporations accountable for how they operate and how do they do business in different regions across the world. So it is really important that we see and study about these businesses through the sustainability lens, especially with these guidelines that UN comes up with the Sustainable Development Goals, etc. So we think it's really important to embed the curriculum in sustainability and understand and get an overview of how business operate and try to attain that competitive advantage in a sustainable fashion. So that's why this is an important pillar. Now, saying that, if you move on to responsibility and professionalism. Now, in terms of sustainability, we are looking at the external influences on a business as well as internal. But when it comes to responsibility and professionalism, we want you to be graduates that are responsible and professional. We want you to learn those skills that hold you accountable as well when you become managers in companies and deal with people because you'll always be working in a team. I'd be surprised if you say you'll be working alone. Even if you run your own company, you will have a team of your own. So we think it's extremely important to be responsible, be accountable for the things you do as part of a firm or as running your own business, and be professional in the way you handle things. Therefore, we think this is also a very important pillar as part of the curriculum. Now, moving on to entrepreneurship and innovation. Now, we think that every student or most of the students have this untapped talent to be entrepreneurs, and we would like to explore that. We would like to enhance that into grabbing those opportunities in the working world. And we want to ensure that these skills don't go wasted. We want to make sure that we realize that, okay, there are students who already have these skills and attributes to become great entrepreneurs. And we don't want you to be stuck with just ideas. How do you take these ideas on board and take it to the market? How do you innovate? And That's why we think this is really important. And later in the slides, you'll see modules that are underpinning with these pillars, and that will allow you to gain that sufficient knowledge you need to explore the market and to be those responsible and professional entrepreneurs. Now, moving on to digital, I personally think, based on my experience, data is currency, information is currency, and how businesses use this information is even more important. Now, yes, you know that businesses are competing against each other, but I personally think, as a business academic, and as having worked for 15 years in the industry, that the business that is with the most information and knows how to exploit that information and data has the competitive advantage in the business environment. So again, to summarize, I would say these 4 pillars are extremely important for the curriculum that we have built. And in the end, I would like to say that it's not just to make you have that business management degree. It's about creating you into problem solvers, creating into learners that reflect on the learning, into critical thinkers, and also make you well-rounded graduates. So it's all these attributes that we want to give you once you've come through this course. And that's why these 4 pillars are so important and are embedded in our curriculum. I hope that's really clear. That's the best I could have done to ensure you understand why these are important pillars of the curriculum. Now, why study with us? Like I just mentioned, I do have industry experience, and so do my colleagues in the entire business school. We have academics who have been in different positions, right from CEOs, MDs, and to the ground level as well. We've been operating staff, consultants, and senior managers, regional managers, etc., who have extensive knowledge, and not just academic knowledge, but practical knowledge of running businesses and being part of big teams and major projects. So you will definitely benefit from that experience, because we module leaders usually, and we course leaders usually share our experiences and anecdotes from our working experience and working life. So it is very advantageous when you're doing academic theory as well. We all teacher qualified through the Higher Education Association, and we have indulged in research. So if you think what we do other than teaching, we research in our free time. I know it's a bit crazy, but when we can have free time, but in our free time we do research so that we can add value to what we are teaching, and we can give students, pass on that value to students going into future jobs. We also have partnerships, and we work with businesses so that, and you'll see in the next slide when I'll talk about the careers aspect, how you are supported by our careers team, where you can also build your network with partners that we have. Our experiences include, I already mentioned that, we have delivered consultancy projects, and we have been part of organization at all levels of the organization. Developing your employability. Like I mentioned, we have a careers team. It's called the CEW, where it's called Careers, Employability, and the Workplace. So from the outset of you joining the university until a graduation, and even after that, we support you with applications, we support you with CV writing. If you want to create your LinkedIn profile online, we support you with that. We do arrange field trips, although the future looks like we might have online field trips, which would be very interesting. And if COVID permits, we might even have physical field trips, which would be very interesting. And through our partnerships and our network, we will make sure that you get insight into current industry trends, together with the academic knowledge that you gain through the courses that we have to offer. Now, about Mike, I'll go take you through three courses, but I'll start with mine. I'm obviously a little more connected to my course, so I'll start with mine. A little selfish of me, but let me do that. We are accredited by CMI at level 5. Once you complete level 5, you have the opportunity to complete the level 5 diploma in management and leadership, and you also have the opportunity to join the Institute of Directors mentoring program. Now, a lot of students have benefited from that. So you are matched up with senior executives from the industry who will mentor you one-to-one. And I just sometimes wish I had this opportunity back in the day where I could get real-time insights into the industry and working knowledge of how things work in the current time, to then be able to go and get the job I want. So you will benefit from that too. Now, a quick snapshot into, now keep the pillars in mind, keep those 4 pillars in mind. Quick snapshot into how the modules for the BA Business Management course looks like. Now, at the first level, like you saw, the sustainability, the innovation part, we have modules designed exactly to allow you to explore the interconnectedness of multiple disciplines together. Now, you will not look at marketing in isolation, like I said, or HR in isolation. You will look at the entire business as a whole, because we want you to be, work-ready graduates. We don't want you to go into work surprised as to, okay, this marketing function is adding value. And you will understand that when you study about marketing. But how is that marketing business function adding value to the entire business, which is what we need you to learn. And that is what level 4 is all about. Level 5, you will engage into something that details about finances and financing, accounting, operations and planning, which further dwells into how businesses operate. And in the end, we think, again, a professional project and, how to see and how to make decision at a strategic level would really help and students to, make their mark into their first job that they get. Now, that's a 3-year course, but we also have a foundation year. So this is usually when students are unable to get into the first year of the BA Business Management program at the recruitment stage. We recommend strongly that the student goes through that process of an additional year called the foundation year, where you are exposed to the basic principles of business project. So if I was I came to the UK 10 years ago, and I think from an engineering background, I would be that student who would have benefited the most with this, additional year to understand the principles of business and the basics of business. So if you have no background of business, this would be a great year for you to start with. And I think I would be that student. So just something you need to know. And again, there's another option you have after the level 5. That's your second year or your third, I think second year of your degree. You have an opportunity to go for a work placement between year 2 and year 3. Now that's applicable for students who are on a 3-year BA Business Management course. And now that, I think, is a fantastic opportunity, because having worked before you actually go into work is a no-brainer. It's a brilliant experience any student can get before completing their degree. So I think it's worth exploring because we have that on offer. Now, you've seen the options. Now, another option is that, like I said, you get to see the interdependence of business functions in year 1 and year 2. Year 3, you have an opportunity to get a focused knowledge on specific areas. So once you've gone through the rigor of different business functions, you will get an idea of where you want to head. Now, if someone's coming from a thought process where they want to create their own business and be an entrepreneur and hire a team, etc., and would want to head to that enterprise route, why not? And that when that happens, your modules at level 6 will change. You will have the project module, you will have the strategic business module, but the other 2 modules will be specific to enterprise or will be specific to human resources, will be very specific to marketing, which will allow you to explore that area more. So you see the options. You have the BA Business Management option, that's a general option, which will make you a completely holistic business consultant and understand all nooks and corners of the business and how they operate. Then you have the foundation option, where you want to do an additional year to gain understanding of the principles of basics of business before you get into the course. Then on a 3-year program, you have an opportunity to go abroad and to go on a placement between level 5 and level 6. And at level 6, you have an opportunity to stream, to go to a specific route, that is enterprise human resource and marketing. So lots of options, lots of decisions to make, but that is what we train you to do. So you don't have to worry about that. More options. You can study full-time, you can study part-time, as well as online only. Yeah, so there are plenty of options for you to if you do join us. International.
Yeah, can I just jump in a second, Samir?
Yeah,
can I just have a moment on that? So obviously sometimes it can seem overwhelming when we're saying all the options are here, but the reality is we're trying to give you flexibility in how you choose to study, so it really does fit around you. The reason that we are, like Samir has mentioned, we've got a foundation year, and that catches you just in case that your A-level results or your BTEC results don't give you quite what you need. So you know, at the point of A-level results day, I know they're earlier this year, you know, don't get disheartened if it's not quite what you expect it to be, and come and talk to, you know, the clearing team and the admissions team to support you in the choices that you can make ultimately, and what we can do to support you into university. And Samir has just outlined, you know, perfectly all the options. These are not options you have to make today. They're not options you have to make on the day that your A-levels come through. If you've applied for business management, then we will welcome you in September onto your business management course. What we will do is talk to you through your first year about actually if you considered going onto a placement at the end of your second year, and we'll talk you through the options for placements, the companies you could work with, what are the benefits. And then, like Samir said, when you get to that end of level 5, your second year, we'll then have those conversations with you about what have you really enjoyed studying. Like, you know, Samir has just outlined exactly what our programs look like, and they are very much holistic in the way that we approach businesses, but you might absolutely passionately fall in love with HR. And I get that HR is fundamentally the best subject, but I'm a bit biased here. So it could be that you decide to go down that HR route. You could fall in love with enterprise, and that is, there's Lisa, I knew she would do that, because Lisa's a specialist in enterprise, and you might find that you are naturally drawn to one subject area. It could be marketing for you. What we're basically trying to explain is that ultimately there are lots of choices, so you can make your program kind of what you want it to be, and it can fit around. And those other options in terms of part-time study, full-time study, you might apply full-time, and then actually something could happen. You know, you could be offered an amazing opportunity, and then you might be saying to Samir, this has happened, what are my options? And Samir is going to be saying to you, do you know what, we could go part-time, you could do it in the evening now. Or something could happen and you know, you basically want to be able to transfer and do that online distance learning instead, and that's okay. It literally can be as flexible as you need it to be. So that's fine. Can I just ask you guys, because we're obviously going to very briefly, or Samir is going to talk to you about international business management and the HND. If anybody here applied for those courses, IBM, International Business Management, or HND? Because if not, have you all applied for business management? Can you type in the chat box for me? Unless it's easier, would you like us to talk to you about international business management? Hey, business management. Thank you. Oh, you've applied for IBM? Oh, we've got a couple of international business, so you definitely want us to talk about that one then. Okay, I'll hand you back to Samir.
That's brilliant. Thanks, Vicky.
Thanks, Samir.
Thanks, Vicky, for stepping in, because you know what? It was really helpful that Vicky stepped in and said, you have time to make these options. Based on what I was talking about, it seemed like before 6 o'clock today, you need to make all the decisions. So thanks, Vicky, for stepping in. Okay, I'll move on now. I assume you can still see the slides, and I'll just take you through the International Business Management course. Now, as the name suggests, it's quite self-explanatory. This does explore cases and businesses that are more international, and not that you won't see international case studies as part of the business management, but these modules are designed in a way where it gives you an insight into international HR policies across the globe, policies outside of the UK, outside of different regions. And with the increase in globalization and how globalization has spread over the years, and with the advent of an emergence of Industry 4.0 in the past decade, where autonomous and everything is automized, and we're heading towards artificial intelligence and robotics, it's just important to know how industries function on a global scale, on a global business platform. And this is where this course comes in. So you need to ensure that you are well read. You need to ensure that you are attuned to what's happening across different industries and different sectors across the globe. It's been one of the top degree courses in demand in 5 years, so it's something to think about. And well-paying business career for new entrants with IBM. Now, again, it does open avenues internationally. That if the basic difference is, yes, with an international business management, if you're exploring and if you want to endeavor jobs that are outside your comfort zone, like I have done. If you like me to share, I've been very fortunate to work in India, in Kuwait, and now in the UK, and understanding those different cultural attributes of how people work in different countries. And this is what this course will allow you to do, to understand how teams function differently. And my experience has been really interesting, because the 3 countries that I've worked in has been so different. The way people work has been so different. I have had to adapt again and again. And I like the UK because the people are very, very polite here, unlike the other 2 countries. That doesn't mean you cannot go somewhere to work. So that's this course. It equips you with skills and specialization that significantly improve your employability. So again, international business management also has modules that will allow you to enhance your skills and knowledge about different subjects and different specializations in the business arena. And the best part is you get an opportunity to gain a double degree from the University of Umeå and in Finland. So that's one plus point as well of this course. And these are the modules like business management, international business management. If you're quick to spot what the differences in modules are, you can see the first year is still very much embedded into the 4 pillars that we discussed in the first slide. But if you see the second year, level 5, you do see those 2 modules that stand out and shouting out loud that they're international HR professional and contemporary issues in international business. So that's where you take a little bit of a diversion on this course and are exposed to the international aspects of business functions. And then you do have the opportunity to gain work experience between year 2 and year 3 for this course as well. And lastly, in the 3rd year, again, you can see the 2 different modules where you get a global context for multinational enterprises. We are not just looking at internal organization within a specific region, but you are getting a very global overview of how multinationals run across the globe. And like BA Business Management, sorry, I keep comparing, but I think it might be good to know what the differences are between the two courses. Obviously, you can go and explore what they are, but I thought I'll just give you an insight here now only. So same thing, foundation, like Vicky pointed out, if at the time you think you will not get into level 4 directly, don't worry, let us know, get in touch with us, and we'll see what we can do, whether we can join us on a foundation course or not, right? How to apply? You apply directly to the university through the UCAS. And that's the third course. And Vicky, do you want to add anything on international business management?
No, I just want to point out, and Sammy has already done this, is to say that, you know, the courses between business management and IBM are quite similar, and they have to be, because ultimately, fundamentally, we're talking about business principles. So there is those elements, but you're always going to have natural changes, because ultimately how you manage people, for example, in a HR setting in the UK, will be fundamentally different to how you will manage expatriates and you know, people who are working overseas, or how you might manage overseas, because culture changes so fundamentally. So it is very much business management, but completely with that international slant. And obviously, you know, the economics, foreign direct investment, all of those things become very relevant to international business. So it's clear why those fundamental differences are there. But no, other than that, Samir, it was a fantastic. Thank you. What I will say is, just because I'm conscious of time and I want to get this amazing challenge that Lisa's got sorted ready, have I got anybody here who's applied for the HND? Can you just, if you've applied for a HND, can you type yes? And if I don't hear anything, we'll kind of skip over this bit, and then we'll let Lisa do, or Lisa and Samir do the challenge with you. But I've got a good question, actually. How many days are you in a week for Business and Management Foundation year? We don't have confirmed timetables as yet, Adam. Generally, timetables are available, hopefully by usually the first week of September. The foundation programme, you've got 4 modules, and generally speaking, a module can be taught for up to 4 hours per module. We've generally always given everybody the blanket rule is you could kind of be in for about 3 days or about 12 hours of teaching face-to-face. Obviously, COVID has impacted, but we're hoping that by September, that'll be less of an impact and we'll be back to doing exactly what we do. And obviously, we're just waiting for the government to tell us what the social distancing restrictions are going to be, if they're going to be, because obviously we're still very much controlled by that. When you get to level 4, and level 5 and level 6, ultimately you'll be doing 2 modules each semester, and your 2 modules will have 4 hours of face-to-face teaching, and then there'll be elements of online teaching that can be either timetabled, as in you need to get it done in a certain time, or completely for you to kind of engage with as and when you want to engage. The beauty of, if there is any beauty in COVID, is, I suppose, is probably fundamentally changed the way we teach. And obviously, from our experience of what the last year and a half has been like, our students are telling us that actually the ability to learn and watch a session at 11 o'clock at night's work for them, or very early in the morning. So what we're doing going forward is having what we call blended learning, where there's elements of obviously face-to-face, because we definitely want to see you in our classrooms, but there's also then learning that you can engage with at a time that kind of suits you. So I hope that's answered the question. If you apply to IBM, the normal 1-3 years, and if in my second year I'm going to change my mind and do a sandwich year, is it possible? Yes, it is. It is absolutely possible, Nora. It's not common that students decide not to apply for the sandwich, what we call a sandwich placement, very early on. And then actually, the more we tell you about the opportunities that sandwich placements can give you, students will then go, oh, I want to change. We regularly do course transfers at the end of August every year. We open what we call the transfer window. So if you were on a particular course and you will flick across to a sandwich one, we get the ball rolling. It would be Samia, or if you're international business management, it will be Michael. Michael couldn't be with us today. They just sign off your course transfers. But yeah, lots of flexibility with that. Great. I think we have covered everything. Samia, can you just flick through and just check there's nothing at the back end of the HND material that I really quickly cover? No, that's perfect. So what I'm going to do, I am going to jump out of this conversation now, and I'm going to leave you in the very capable hands of Lisa and Samia. And at the end of that, I will be back to answer any questions that you might have. Thanks guys.
Vicky.
Thanks, Vicky. Samia, do you want to share the slides, or do you want me to?
Please go ahead.
Do you need to stop sharing your screen first?
Yes, I'll do that.
Thank you. While we're just setting up the slides, can I ask everybody who's logged on to go and make sure you've got a pen and paper, or a pencil and paper, or a felt tip pen and some paper, because we're going to ask you to get a bit creative in the next session. So if you've got something you can draw on, or if you're high tech and you've got an iPad and one of those digital pencils, that's fine too. But we need you to be a little bit creative in the next session. So if you need to run off and grab pens, pencils, crayons, digital pens, whatever it is you want to do, you can go and do that now while I just start sharing my screen. Right, can you see my screen, Samia?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, okay. I can't see the chat while I'm doing this. For some reason, it's completely disappeared. So are you okay to keep an eye on the chat?
Yes, I'll do that.
Thank you. Okay, so are people back with us? Has everyone got their pens, pencils? Yeah?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Nora
that's
says yes.
right.
Arden
Let me
says
see if
yes.
I can. I'm going to see if I can bring the chat up, but for some reason I can't see it. Okay, then. So we're going to do a little session now. It's a taster of what we would do when you're actually on one of the business school programs with us. So as Samia said earlier, all business school programs have some elements of enterprise and entrepreneurship embedded within them. And I am one of the enterprise lecturers at the university, and this is kind of a taster of what I might do in one of my classes. Now, obviously, we are hoping by September these will be in-person classes, and that we'll be doing these kind of things in a classroom with you in teams, and you'll be able to work together and collaborate, and that's definitely what we're expecting to do in September. But for today, it's going to be online, so it's going to be a little bit different, but it will give you a good idea of the kind of things we get up to. So we've already introduced ourselves, me and Samia have, but it'd be nice to find out a little bit about you guys. So if you are feeling brave and you want to come on camera or unmute and introduce yourself, that would be lovely. If you'd like to tell us something about yourself in the chat, that would be good too. So tell us who you are. You could tell us what you're currently doing. Where are you studying? Are you studying? Have you had a break in studying and you're currently thinking of coming back to study? And tell me what your favourite brand is, or if you haven't got a brand, what's your favourite advert that you've seen recently? So I can just find out a little bit about you and what you think. So if you want to let us know in the chat, that's fine. Or you can come off mute and introduce yourself. Nora's put a camera on. Nice to see you, Nora.
Yeah, hi, good
Nice to see
afternoon.
you.
Hi, you
Hello.
right?
Yeah, what are you currently doing at the moment?
I'm an au pair. I'm babysitting in the UK. Just moved here in October from Italy.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah. So
Weather's
this is
not
my
as good here, no.
Sorry?
The weather's not quite as good here as it is in Italy,
no. Yeah. So yeah.
So you're thinking of coming to join us in September then?
Yeah, I already applied for international business management, and I have already a background of business because when I was in Italy, I have done the high school of international relations. So marketing, I already know some of the business. I study economics, law. So yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
So good basic knowledge already. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Okay.
And
have you got a favourite brand or a favourite advert?
Favorite brand? It can be, for example, Huda Beauty is like a cosmetic brand.
Yeah, Huda Beauty.
Yeah.
They're doing some really good marketing things at the moment.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, using
Yeah.
social media for marketing and
Yeah,
influencers.
true. Yeah.
Really well. Yeah, oh, that's great. Good. Okay, thank you very much. Nice
You're
to meet
welcome.
you.
Thank you, Nora.
Thank you, Nora. Anybody else want to do the same? Share themselves on camera or come off mute, or do you want to share in the chat? You'll have to let me know if anyone's typed in the chat for me.
Nothing yet.
Disappeared.
I'm keeping a tab.
Okay. Anyone else want to let us know? Oh, here we go. We've got somebody else. Hello.
You're on mute.
You're on mute, I think.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you now. Nice to see
Hi.
you.
Yeah. Hello everyone. This
Hi.
is Sabbir from Bangladesh, and I also applied for the International Business Management, and I'm really excited to join this university.
Fantastic.
And,
Have you studied business before?
yeah, actually, I have studied a lot, but well, I had ambitions always, and I had a great interest in business sectors when I was at my school and college. Since then, I've made my mind to study further about these subjects. So I just figured out some universities in UK, and I find that University of Wolverhampton is best match for me, and I've applied for it, and hopefully I will join the class in September.
Fantastic. And have you got a favorite brand or a favorite advert you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, definitely. Well, basically, I used to wear a lot of clothes and shoes, and there is an international brand. It's called Nike.
Yeah.
I have a lot of shoes from that brand.
Okay. Do you sort of collect the limited edition special shoes that they bring out, or just are they
No,
the general ones?
no, actually.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much for sharing. It's lovely to see you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else like to?
Oh, hello there. You're right.
Adam.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Hi, Adam. Nice to hear from you.
I'm currently studying business administration at Dudley College.
Dudley College. Okay, yeah, great.
And my favorite brand is probably Tom Ford. You know, Tom Ford.
Tom Ford. Okay. Do you want to tell us why?
I don't know. You know. Couldn't tell you.
Thank you very much for sharing. That's great.
All right, nice one.
Thank you. Anybody else? You can always let us know in the chat if there's anything else you'd like to share. Okay.
Yeah.
It's lovely
Nothing
to hear
yet.
from some of you and see some of you. That was fantastic. Okay then, so the first thing we're going to ask you to do is think about graduation, which is a bit of a strange thing to do before you've even joined the university. But the reason that we're mentioning it now is that for many people, the reason you go to university is because you're thinking about your career and what you're going to be doing afterwards. So a graduate job or starting your own business or whatever it is. And when you apply for a graduate job or you start your own business, there's going to be certain skills that you need and evidence of skills that you're going to have to demonstrate. So the first little activity I'd like us to do is to think about what sort of skills we think employers might want from graduates from a business school. So if you could just type into the chat and let me know what you think some of the graduate skills are that people might want.
I'll read them out once they come, please.
Yeah, that's great. I can see the chat now, by the way.
Oh,
Don't know where it went, but it's
so
back.
Adam says teamwork, and let's do some teamwork, Lisa. I'll read them out for you.
Thank you.
Meeting says communication skills are both extremely, extremely important. I think teamwork is so true. Time management.
Yeah, that's
the one we always fail at, Adam. Time management.
Speak for yourself, Samir.
Yes, I am speaking for myself.
Problem
I do.
solving. Yeah, it's a couple of people talking about problem solving. Vicky's time management, something she's working on too. Brilliant. Interpersonal skills. Yeah, definitely some really good ones coming through here. So we've got an idea of what we think employers might want. So one of the activities I'd like us to do at this stage is to think about what skills we've currently got and what skills we might need to work on during our time at university. So the idea being that you can sort of audit yourself and see where you are now. And then at the end of each year of your programme and at the end of your whole degree, you can then audit yourself again and see how far you've progressed during your time at university. So I don't want you to think about this exercise as, oh, I might not be very good at any of these skills yet. We're not really expecting you to be. You're right at the beginning of your academic career. But what we want you to do is to be able to reflect on your own skills and see what you think your strengths are, which ones you might be okay at, but you need a little bit more help, and the ones that you think, actually, I really need lots of support with this one. And then the idea is we can build some of these skills into your programme and we can work with you over your degree to improve on those areas that you need to, so that when you are applying for jobs in 3 years' time, or you're thinking of starting your own business, that actually those things will be things you're feeling a lot more confident about than you do today. So this is a slide here that shows what the actual top 10 skills are that employers are looking for in 2021. And some of them you've already picked up on. Continuous learning is one of them. And obviously all of you have applied to come and do a course. So that's something that you're already doing. Time management, decision making, collaboration, so teamwork, emotional intelligence, being able to read people and understand people, creativity, resilience. I think people have had to demonstrate that a lot over the last 18 months particularly, as well as adaptability, being able to adapt the way we do things in the pandemic. That's been really important. Project management and knowledge of social and digital media. So we look at these skills that employers want, and we've embedded these skills into our programme, so that the idea is you will improve on all of these. But I think you can't improve on something if you don't know where you're starting from. So that's the point of this next exercise. So we're going to do a little bit of a skills audit. So I want you to give yourself a score of between 1 and 5 for each of those skills. And I'm going to put the slide back on in a minute, so don't worry, I'm not expecting you to remember all 10. With 1 being an area that you don't think you've got much competence or experience of at the moment, that's absolutely fine. And 5 being an area that you think, actually, I'm pretty good at that. That's one of my strengths. That's a strong skill for me. And once you've put a number next to each of those 10 things on your sheet of paper, I want you to add up the score, and you'll get an overall score out of 50. And then we'll think about what people's strengths and weaknesses are and how perhaps we can enhance our CV across that. So I'm going to put the previous slide back on, so you've got a list in front of you. And
am I allowed to do that as well, Lisa?
Of course you are, Samir. I'd love you to take part too. So if you want to just write down numbers 1 to 10, you don't have to write all of these out, and then next to each one, just give yourself a score. So 1 is really unsure about this, I don't know what it means, or I've not got any experience of it, or it's a bit of a weakness at the moment, it's an area I need to develop. And 5 being, I'm really good at this, I'm really confident about this skill. And if you're in the middle, that's fine, you can put 2, 3 or 4, depending where you think you are on that scale. And then once you've done all 10, if those of you that feel brave and want to share some of your strengths and areas for development with us, that would be lovely. You can pop them into the chat and tell us what your top 2 are, or your bottom 2 are, or you can come off your microphones and tell us that way.
I'm done.
You done?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else done? If you are, just pop the yes into the chat so I know that you're ready.
My score is 39.
39. That's good. high scorer from Samia. Don't
Oh,
feel
is
you
that
have to
high? I
compete.
thought it's
High.
low. Is that high? Good.
Well,
Thank
50
you.
would be the highest, wouldn't it?
Yeah, good.
So
Yeah,
that's not
good.
bad.
Thank you.
Rebecca, you've got 35. Thank you for sharing that. That's fantastic.
Thank you, Rebecca.
35 from Amidu. So we've already got some high scores. Don't feel you have to have a high score. Not everybody's got to compete with Samia. It's a little bit further on his career journey.
Can I give a 0 in time management?
Me,
Doesn't matter at all if you've got a low one.
Mine is 41.
41. Well done.
Yeah.
Nora.
There you go.
Thank you.
Absolutely nothing wrong with 30. It's the point of this is finding out where we are now.
Exactly.
And making sure that by the time you graduate, you've improved. That's all we're looking at. So don't worry where your score is at the moment.
I think this is an activity where you do not need to compare it with the others, but
Not at
see
all.
how you can progress from where you are. I think
Exactly. So what I'm looking for you to do is keep a note of these scores that you've done. Maybe take a photo of it on your phone and remember this. And then during your first year on the degree, you'll meet up with your personal tutor at various points, at least once every term. And one of the things you can do with your personal tutor is work on these skills and look at the skills that you need some improvement on. And then we can assess it at the end of each year and see how much you've progressed. So this is about your journey, where you started from and where you end up. It really doesn't matter what anyone else has got.
True.
So does anyone want to let me know what their 2 strongest skills are at the moment? You can drop it into the chat, or you can come off your mic, off mute, and let me know.
Mine is the knowledge of social media. I put 5.
Okay.
And I put 5 in emotional intelligence.
Okay, that's fantastic.
And resilience as well.
And resilience. So you've got a top 3 there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the great thing is different people on the course will have different strengths. And one of the things we do on our degrees is make you work collaboratively, which is really important. One, because you'll have to do that when you go into the workplace or start your own business anyway, but also because if you've got really good skills of social and digital media and somebody else hasn't, they can learn from you too. And likewise, you might be able to learn something from them in an area that you need to develop in. So that's pretty good.
Irene has a message. Hi, I wanted to know, is there going to be an in-person tour?
Okay, as far as I'm aware, they're planning at the moment for an in-person open day in August. Now, it is subject to government approval on how many people we can have on site and all that kind of thing. But at the moment, assuming the government relax all the social distancing rules in June, which is what they're planning to do, but we haven't had confirmation, then the university are planning an in-person open day in August. So if that goes ahead, which we're fingers crossed, we're all hoping it will, you'll be able to come in, meet us in person, have a tour of the campus and the facilities. And then if there's other subjects you're interested in doing, you'll be able to talk to the staff in those areas at the same time. If for any reason that isn't able to go ahead in person, then it will be moved online. So you would still be able to talk to the staff about other subject areas, but obviously not necessarily have a tour. But at the moment, the plan is for a tour. And are you able to have a talk after the session's finished? You can. Me and Samia and Vicky will be available for a Q&A. But after our session's finished, you'll be able to go back to the people who are running the main session, and they will actually be able to give you some advice and guidance about other courses, about finance, any of the other things around university. So there will be a link at the end that I can put you to, so you can speak to other staff if there's other issues outside of our department that you'd like to discuss. Will there be another open day? Yeah, there's going to be, I think, at least another 2 online open days between now and September, and obviously the plan is for August to be an in-person one. Oh, okay, Rebecca's popped in the chat that there are some campus tours that are available that you can book onto. Fantastic.
Thanks, Rebecca. Rachel
Rachel's asked about offers. Vicky, do you know what happens with offers? Not sure if Vicky's still with us.
I am here. I'm just can't get myself on quick enough. Sorry.
Sorry.
I'm here. When will an offer be sent to me? Not sure if I've got accepted for this yet. Rachel, when did you how long ago did you apply?
I think she's typing.
You know what I'm going to say on that one? I'm going to pop my email in the chat, and if you want to, drop me an email and I will forward it to admissions. And I will forward it to admissions, and then we can hopefully get a push on it. I'm a mature student. I sent an essay 6th of May. Yeah, Rachel, if you drop me an email with your details, and I will get the team to have a look at it. It's just an admissions query. Information about CAS letters. You would need to email the
You're breaking up.
time, but again, you've got my email address. Oh,
Vicky, sorry,
my internet's gone. My internet is popping up saying it's gone unstable. I'm sorry. There you go. Rebecca's just popped.
Inquiries. Do you want me to put the email in the chat?
Rebecca's just popped one in about the international team at 6 o'clock. So anything relating to CAS, you can pop on at 6 o'clock, like Rebecca's just posted in the chat, and speak to the team then.
Did you get the link, Shabir? Brilliant. He's got the link. Okay. Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Someone asked about more taster days. Are there going to be any further taster days, applicant days this term?
We've got sorry, I just thought I'd come on rather than
That's fine. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you.
It's okay. So we've got the next open day. We've got an open day and it is virtual at the moment, and that's on the 12th of June. You can book online for that. And then we've got another one in July, which is the 17th of July, I believe. So we have got another 2 events that are virtual events that will be very similar to this. But as I've mentioned in the meantime, we have got the on-campus campus tours, but they are quite small numbers because we're still operating with COVID regulations. So it's family groups that we're doing, not lots and lots of individual people together. So you can book on for those for the campus tours. And that also means you'll get to meet some of our student ambassadors, and then you can ask them about studying at the university as well and speak to ambassadors directly. But as Lisa's mentioned, the next large on-campus event we've got is in August. And I think just off the top,
14th of August.
14th of August, yes, my dad's
It
birthday.
is.
For other information.
It is 14th of August.
It is, yeah. So that we have got lots and lots of events coming up, but the best thing to do is to just go to our university website, because we'll always have the next event that's coming up on the university website. And we've also got chat to a student on the website. So if you can't make any of the on-campus events to talk to a student, we've got a live chat function when you can speak to students directly as well. And they're our Unibuddy ambassadors, so you can ask any questions about anything at all to study at university.
Thanks, Rebecca. That's really useful. Thank you. Okay, then. So moving on, is there any of these skills that you think is an area that you really need to work on, that you'd like some help and support on during your time at university? If you want to drop those into the chat or come on camera and microphone and let us know if there's one particular skill you think you need some support with to develop. Just let us know that. Anybody score 1 or 2 on any of them that you think actually I need some help with those? If you let us know which one in the chat.
Yeah, Shabir said yes, I do, but we're just waiting for him to confirm which ones. So join the time management gang.
Okay, so time management is something that you will develop over your time at university. You will have to. You will get
I still haven't. So don't. It's so down to the individual, I think, Lisa.
It is. But you will be given lots of support with that.
You'll get opportunities and support, but it'll be up to you whether you do it or not.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I haven't been able to yet.
But obviously you've had some time management, Samir, because you've passed courses where you would have had deadlines, and
I have. Okay,
I'll
be honest with you, Lisa. I've never missed a deadline.
There we go. So your time management isn't as bad as you think.
Exactly. That I manage it. It's just that I don't manage it the way it should be managed.
So
I've
it's
never,
an area you'd like to improve, but not an area you're totally bad at because you've met all your deadlines.
yeah, I think meeting deadlines and managing at the time would be, I see them a little bit differently. I could manage my time a little better and still meet the deadlines.
Yeah. So the time management is something that will definitely give you support on. You'll have a personal tutor, an academic coach in your first year, and then a personal tutor for your second and third year. And you can meet with them regularly. And if time management is something, time management is one of my strengths. And a lot of students come to me when they're struggling with time management, and I will sit and help them plan out Gantt charts that with their deadlines in and what they should be doing each week to get to their deadline, and setting out chunks of time to just work on a certain project. So I'm pretty good at helping people with that. So even if I'm not assigned as your personal tutor, you can always come and speak to me about that. But there's lots of other people who will be able to help you with that at the university as well.
Nora says project management, so she knows where to go as well.
So yeah, we definitely will help you with that. As you work through to your final year, you will actually be managing your own project in your final year. So we'll be developing those skills with you to make sure by the time you get to level 6, project management is something you feel comfortable with. There's another question, yeah, pop it into the chat for us. If we can help you, we will. If you got any questions, feel free to just drop them in the chat, by the way, that's fine. Okay, while we're just waiting for any questions, I'm going to move on to the next slide because I'm conscious of time. So we've talked about our strengths and areas of development. We've given ourselves a skill. So the next activity we're going to be doing is looking at designing and branding. So this is where I'm going to get you to be a little bit creative, and your pens and papers will come in handy for this one. So what we're going to ask you to do over the next half an hour or so is what we call the water bottle challenge. And what we're asking you to do is to think about a reusable water bottle. Hopefully you've all seen something similar. And think about if you had to design a brand new reusable water bottle, what would you do? How would it look? What would it be made of? Would there be any tech involved in it? Or any special features? Would it come in different sizes? Would it be eco-friendly? And if so, how? And I want you to try, if art is one of your skills, it's definitely not one of my skills, to sketch a design on a piece of paper, or if you really can't draw, and stick men are about as good as I can draw, then you can make notes of your design, so you can tell us what colour it would be, or what material it's made of, what size it is, and you can just write it down in note form. That's absolutely fine. And then what we'll do is we'll ask you to share some of your ideas with us, so you can take a picture of your drawing and press the little file button in the chat and upload it so we can see your drawing if you want to. Or you can come on camera and hold your drawing up to the camera and show us. People have done that before, which is really cool. So yeah, once you've only spend a few minutes thinking about it, what would it look like? What would it be made of? Would there be any special tech in it? Do you always wish that your water bottle could heat up your drinks or cool down your drinks? How would you get that embedded into it? What would you make it out of? How would we ensure it's eco-friendly? Is that important? All those kind of things. So quick sketch or some notes of the design. And in the meantime, if you've got any questions that you want to ask us while people are drawing their water bottles, you can pop those into the chat. Amidu said you would use your camera but it doesn't work. That's absolutely fine. You can just pop some notes into the chat and tell us what yours would look like, what it's made of, what material it would be. That's fine. You don't need to use your camera if you can't. Lisa and Samir is fine. We're all quite happy being called by our first names at the university.
That was one of the changes when I changed workplaces across different countries, because it's very different how you are addressed in Kuwait and in India. I had to undo the sir and the ma'am thing when I came to work.
All of my international students call me ma'am. And some of our students coming straight from a sixth form in a school will quite often call you Miss, because they've been used to calling their sixth form teachers Miss. So I'm not offended if anyone wants to call me Mum or Miss, but Lisa is just fine. I'm very happy to be called Lisa. Okay, so if you've got an idea of how you think your water bottle might look and you want to share it with us, or just share, yeah, Nora?
Yeah, I thought of something like just quickly.
Okay,
I'm not good on drawing. Basically, this is like the bottle.
that's
right?
much better than I could draw, Nora.
Thank you.
That's right.
So I was thinking to use like the bottle, but use like material recyclable plastic. You know, all the plastic that we use, we can use it again.
Yeah.
And then add like an etiquette you call it, like a piece of paper around saying eco water, eco-friendly water, like, and that color in green, because green represent the environment. So when I think about green color, automatically I think about the environment. So everything that is eco-friendly. And then the lid, it can be with like paper, cartoon, this material of paper, like we use for boxes, for example.
Like
Let's say
cardboard.
yeah, cardboard. Yeah, thank you. For example, that yeah,
That sounds
because
fantastic.
because if we think about the glass, for example, glass is very heavy to hold every time a bottle of glass. So it's, if it's like recyclable plastic or all of the materials, nowadays there exist a lot of materials, we can use that. It's like an
That
idea.
sounds brilliant. Yeah,
Mhm.
I saw a water bottle company last week advertising on Instagram, and they actually recycle discarded bottles that are in the ocean. And they use big trawler nets, get all the discarded plastic from the ocean and turn them back into reusable water bottles, which I thought was a really good idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, so that reusing plastic is a really good idea. So thank you for sharing that, Nora.
Brilliant, Nora.
You're welcome.
Rachel
Thank
said,
you.
Brilliant. Rachel said I would definitely use glow in the dark neon, because she can never find her water bottle in the middle of the night. And you know what?
That's such a good
personally
idea.
think that's genius, because the number of times I have dropped things around in the night to fetch that water bottle, and the number of times I drop things on my head as well. I think that is genius.
So you know, if your bottle's in your gym bag or your work bag and it's at the bottom and you can't see it, if it was neon and glow in the dark, you'd find it at the bottom of your bag as well, or at the bottom of a locker. So that's a really good idea. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to share their ideas with us?
Can I add something else?
Go on.
Yeah, of course you can.
Basically, it's not like a big deal, but I would just say like it will be plastic, will be usable plastic as a water bottle.
Yeah.
I don't have any special features on it. It could come in different sizes, and yeah, pretty much that's it.
That sounds great. Thank you
And
very
so I
much.
didn't introduce myself. My name is Amidu. I came from Italy, and I already did business courses in UK, and this is my final year as well. And I would like to come on University of Wolverhampton. I hope to come on University of Wolverhampton to study business management. And yeah, that's it. So for now, introducing myself.
That's great. You've done it now, so thank you very much. Another Italian. I'm very jealous of all of you that have lived in Italy. And
Nora and Amidu,
thank you.
Sorry?
Nora and Amidu, do you know each other at all?
No.
The way you were smiling, Nora, I thought you probably know him.
No.
It was just happy
No, sir, I don't know.
Italian in the room.
Just when he said Italy, I was like, oh,
That's
okay, I'm
that's
not
what brought the smile.
Yeah.
See, you'll already have a classmate who's from your home country. That would be fantastic. Okay, so now you've all got an idea, a rough idea of what you want your water bottle to be like. I now want you to think about a logo for your water bottle. So if you want to think about sketching a logo for your water bottle and possibly coming up with a name and a strap line. So everybody know what we mean by the term strap line? Someone want to give me an example of one if you do think you know what it means?
I heard the name, I completely forgot.
Okay, but you have heard it before.
Basically, I know what you mean. I know what you mean, but I completely forgot how to explain.
Yeah. Anybody else got any ideas? What we mean by strap line?
The strap line is not the one that is around the bottle. Like it's that piece like of plastic or paper around the bottle that says the name. It's not that.
Not quite.
No, okay.
When it might be, but not necessarily. So when you have the name of a brand, but then you have a set of words underneath the name that helps you remember the brand. So if you think about Nike, they have Just Do It. Yeah, or McDonald's had I'm Loving It.
Or Coca-Cola, Taste
Yeah.
the Feeling. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So yeah, so you get the idea. So that's your strap line, something that invokes something about the brand, tells us what it's about, gives us a little bit more insight to what they're all about. So if you can come up with a name, a logo, and a strap line, you might not want to be able to do all of those, but if you can come up with one of them, that would be great. And then you can either share that in the chat, or you can show us on your camera if you've got a camera. Okay, Rachel, you applied for HRM.
I've just replied to Rachel.
Oh, okay.
So Shabir says, I have my own stock line, and
Okay.
his strap line is sharing, bring caring.
Okay, I like that. Sharing brings caring.
Yeah, I just randomly think about it, and I couldn't find anything much better than that one. So I
No,
just proved it.
you've not had very long to think about it. Believe me, when you actually work in marketing, you do get a lot longer than 2 minutes to come up with a strap line. So I'm
Yeah,
just
I hope
kind of
that I'll
getting your
get that
creative
better one.
juices. That's fine. Yeah, you're just getting your creative juices flowing. I'm not expecting anyone to necessarily come up with the perfect strap line in 2 minutes.
Mine is like drink healthy and enjoy the feeling, something like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. Thank you. Rebecca, drink to think. Okay. Something to give you a pause for thought with that one. That's great. Thank you. So just because we're short on time, I'm going to move on to the next slide now. So now I want you to think about how to market your bottle. So we've come up with an idea of a product, we've given it a name or a logo or a strap line, and now we want to think about how would we market that product. So I want you to think about who your target customer is now, and I want you to be really precise. Quite often when I ask students to come up with a target customer, they'll say, oh, they're going to be 18 to 25, men and women, live anywhere in the UK. I want you to be really, really precise. I want you to give your customer a name. I want you to draw them if you can draw. I want you to tell me how old they are, and not an age range, but an actual age. I want you to tell me what gender they are, what do they do for a living, how much money do they earn, whereabouts do they live? Do they live in the UK? Do they live somewhere else? If they do live in the UK, whereabouts? Are they city? Are they in the countryside? What sort of home would your customer live in? Would they live in an inner city apartment? Would they live in a country cottage? Where would they live? Do they have family? Are they married? Are they single? Have they got children? Have they got grandchildren? What sort of education background do you think your ideal customer might have? What sort of hobbies might they have? If you've gone for a more sporty water bottle, then you might be looking at people who are more into sports as hobbies. If you've gone for a different kind of water bottle that's more eco-friendly, then it might be somebody who cares more about the environment rather than exercise. So I want you to try and draw your customer if you can, or you can use a mind map if you prefer and just write customer and then draw some like a spider diagram saying what age they are, where they live, what they do for a job, what their family is. So if you're like me and you can't draw, a mind map is fine. If you can draw your customer, then I'm very envious of you, but that's great. You can share that with us. And once you're ready, you can think about how you would like to market your products. So somebody's already put in the chat that they'd use a website as their marketing tool. So that's great. So think about how you would market.
Yeah, that was me saying to
advertise
my products, I would just use a website.
Yeah, that's
which
great.
I learned. Yeah.
So just think about now who that customer is that you're going to use the website to market to. Rachel, I think, is leaving now, so thank you very much for joining us. She's emailed Vicky, so Vicky will get back to you. It's been lovely to meet and talk with you today, so thank you, Rachel.
Thanks, Rachel.
So once you're ready, if you can just pop into the chat who your target customer is, or show us on camera, or tell me on camera, however you feel comfortable.
Can I say it?
If you can,
I think for every gender, so females and males, I thought about like London, that is a big city and is very like not clean, you know, with all the environment stuff. And I thought the age range is between 25, 35 or 40. And about the education, I feel like high education, because normal people that they're not educated, like they don't have school background, they don't believe in this stuff like about environment, eco-friendly, but people that they study, they have a degree and everything, they I don't know, like they think like very high, and they say, oh yeah, we care about the environment. Because in my experience, as a personal experience, and I knew people, my parents' friends, that they didn't went to university, they don't have a higher education. For them, like this thing of eco-friendly and environment, it's not like a serious thing to take to care about. But other people, they're like educated, they know what is going on in this world right now and everything, they care about it. So they're more careful, they pay attention about the environment, about like cleaning and all that stuff. So I was thinking high education, and so people, they have love for the environment, most of them. And of course, like if you're gonna start like producing this type of bottles, they're gonna be a little bit pricey at the beginning. So not everyone is gonna get them, like, you know, you can get them for like 50p's, for example, one bottle. So it's gonna be a little bit like at the beginning pricey, but then when the customers, they're gonna start like buying it more and more, and they're gonna believe in the product, then the price is gonna go a little bit low to like another range of people that can go. Yeah.
they need to be in a job that gives them enough money to be able to spend a little bit more on an investment of a water bottle, and once more people buy it, you might be able to lower the price. Yeah, thank you very much for sharing that.
Shabir says that he's bad at drawing, and he thinks that marketing, he can use some social media platforms such as Facebook to market his product.
Yeah, Facebook is a fantastic tool for marketing. You can really drill down to the exact type of person that you want to market to. So some of these things I've been asking in here about name, age, gender, job, income bracket, you can actually decide a geographic area and then say you just want to target women between the ages of 20 and 25 in that geographic area that are interested in walking, running, whatever it is. So you can use platforms like Facebook to really drill down and be specific in your marketing. So that's a really good idea. Thank you. Anybody else want to share before we move on to the next?
Yeah, I'd like to share. Basically, I was saying as a website, but I even thought to use email and social media as well.
Yeah.
Which could be Facebook or even YouTube as well.
YouTube, yeah, YouTube's really good for being able to demonstrate what a product can do, isn't it? So you can actually create a longer form video and show people using your product.
Yeah, and age, I was not sure about the age, but I would just say like basically 25 or 25 over.
Yeah.
I'm not actually precise with that, but it's a good age to start with. And gender, male and female. The location, I was thinking London as well, because I've been in London and it's really a busy place as well. And the education background, I would just like to say the same point that Nora mentioned as well, because I think like it's a good opinion to say when you ever speak, like try to do this business stuff. And the hobbies, I would just say any kind of hobbies, but because I like mostly football, I would just basically use that, and then that's it, pretty much that.
Okay, thank you. Which football team do you support?
I was supporting Man United first, but after that, I didn't support anyone. I'm just looking for a new team that it goes more better than Man United.
Okay. Well, we are right next door to Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club. So you will
Oh, then might want to, as soon as I start on September, I would just basically go on over there and then support them all the
literally,
time.
our building overlooks the football pitch, the football stadium. So if you're right on the top floor of our building, you can actually see onto the pitch.
I will sure go there. I will sure go there.
So,
And
yeah,
Rebecca has
just...
already said Wolves, so we know
Yeah.
where. I don't watch football. I don't. It's because I come from a cricket playing nation. I've always followed cricket. So, yeah, I don't support any football team.
Right. See, I support Aston Villa, but I always get shut down in Wolverhampton for saying I support Aston Villa, because they're a little bit of rivals really in the Premiership. And we played our last game on Sunday, and Villa ended up higher than Wolves. So, yeah, there's a few people at work that aren't that happy about that at the moment.
Lisa, don't miss out. I hope you didn't miss out Rebecca's emoticon that came as a surprise face when you said you support Aston Villa.
I didn't see that, but there you go. I am from Birmingham, in my defence, so I grew up following Aston Villa. So
Vicky says just rugby for me. Being Welsh, it's the only thing we are good at. Good on you. Right.
Okay, right then, moving on to the next stage of the water bottle challenge then. The last thing I'd like you to do is think about how you would launch your product. So we've now got a good understanding of who our customer is, how we're going to market, what our water bottle's all about. So how would you launch your product? Imagine you're going to put on a launch event. It could be a physical event or an online event. Where would you have that event and why? Who would you invite to your event? So think about social media influencers or celebrities that you would want to invite to your event. And how would you generate PR, so public relations, getting people to write about your event in the press? How would you generate some publicity or getting people to write about you on social media? Think about what you would do as your launch event. So that's the last task I'm asking you to do now. So
I got a quick question. By saying where do you launch your event and why? I was thinking because through my course we did a lot of group work things about what sort of theme we're gonna do the business, basically like what we're gonna sell and everything. We always talked about that first we're gonna start posting everything on social media, and then when people start to view and likes it, we're just gonna do a website by giving deliveries to them. And then after we thought about just placing a store anywhere else near to where lots of public really try to fit in. They always come, so like in city center in UK. So could you just say basically around where lots of public are coming out? So for example, city center, where you we do a launch event. You could say that.
You could have an outdoor launch event at a busy place where you might give out samples of your water bottle, for example. That's something that some people do when they're launching a new product. Sometimes they'll hire an event and have it indoors. Sometimes people will launch an event out on the streets and literally give samples out to the public and get people to share their reactions, record their reactions and put them on social media. That's absolutely ideal, especially for startup businesses that might not have a budget for a launch event. You can basically do guerrilla marketing. You can go out onto the streets and market your product. So yeah,
even I was thinking not just using social media, even use written stuff, basically leaflets and maybe even posters as well. That's a good start as well for public place.
If you're a small startup business, going out onto the streets, giving out leaflets, giving out samples, all of that's really good idea. So thank you.
But Amidu, Nora won't be very happy if you're printing too much paper,
Sorry, what you said?
He said market print leaflets. I said Nora won't be very happy if you're printing too much.
Exactly.
Let's make sure they're recycled paper and recyclable.
Obviously, sir. Don't worry about that.
Anybody else like to share what they might do for their launch event?
Maybe having a small conference with big influencers or celebrities, because people, they have a large audience of followers that can help our business to grow quickly. And yeah, like just it can be public as well, to have the PR, public relations, yeah. And yeah, pretty much something simple but effective.
Okay, that sounds great. So you would
And
think about inviting celebrities.
And give, yeah, for example, give to the influencers like some discounts to give their followers. So just like a discount 10-15%. And yeah, pretty much that.
That's
Yeah.
good. Have you got any particular social media influencer in mind that you might invite?
British one.
It doesn't need to be British. If you can think of an Italian one, that's fine.
Chiara Ferragni, for example. I don't know if you know who she is.
Tell us a little bit about her.
She's a big influencer, Italian, and she has this blogger called The Blonde Salad. She started from the scratches, like just taking a picture in the mirror of her outfit, and she blows up like in America, like everywhere. So even here in UK. So yeah,
people
maybe
tend to buy what she wears, yeah?
Yeah. Every time when she posts something, is sold out after 15 minutes. Everything's sold out. So
if she's got your water bottle in her hand when she's taking her outfit of the day picture, people are all going to ask where that water bottle's from.
Yeah.
You just make sure your production line is sorted. That's it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like the version, like Italian version of Kim Kardashian or something like that. So if we can't go to Kim Kardashian because it's going to be very expensive, we can go to Chiara Ferragni or other people similar to her.
That sounds great. Thank you. So you've got some really, really good ideas. Has anybody else got anything they want to share? So we've got in the chat, I think a physical event might be fruitful. I would invite influencers. Along with emerging youth who show a great interest in the sector. That's fantastic. So people who are going to share with their friends and their followers about your product is a really good way to market your product and to launch your product. So you've got some really good ideas there. Thank you. So does anybody fancy trying to do an elevator pitch? So an elevator pitch, if you haven't heard of one before, is I want you to imagine you're getting into a lift on the ground floor of a building. And as you get in there, you realise that someone really influential who might be able to help you start your business is in the lift. So those of you that are from the UK, we have a programme called Dragon's Den. I don't know whether it happens, whether you have that in Italy, where there are people who have set up multiple businesses, entrepreneurs, and invested in lots of businesses. And people come out and do a pitch on the TV show, and some of the panel might give them some money to start their business. So I want you to imagine you've got in the lift and notice that one of the dragons from Dragon's Den is in the lift, and you're going up to the 5th floor, and you've got 1 minute to talk to this dragon and tell them all about your water bottle to see if they're going to invest £100,000 to help you start your business. Anybody brave enough to give us an elevator pitch? 30 seconds just to tell us what's great about your water bottle and why I should invest in it if I had £100,000 ready to give you.
Well, miss, I would just basically, I don't know, I just would be really stuck saying that if I go there. I would just basically say, like, because it's like recyclable, it improves the environment. Yeah. And I would just say even that it helps people around, just like, because if they're buying the bottles from my store, instead of like, you know, like put in a bin or and trying to find another, they can just reuse it again, and then it basically helps the environment. That's what I was trying to say. Just helps an environment. I wouldn't know how to say anything else.
That's fine. Your key message is about the impact on the environment. So if I'm Deborah Meaden, and I know Deborah Meaden likes the eco-friendly businesses, those of you that have watched the UK Dragon's Den should be interested in the fact that it's recyclable and it's eco-friendly. So that might be the thing that persuades her to give you the £100,000. So thank you very much for that. Anyone else want to share theirs?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay then, so thank you very much for your time and your creativity and your energy in this session. I've really enjoyed it. Just wanted to leave you really with the idea that I want you to never forget that anyone can be an entrepreneur. And I genuinely believe that some of the people in this chat today will end up leaving our university and starting their own businesses. And perhaps it could be you that changes the world. So I just want you to think about that. And if you've got any questions, you can ask us now in the chat, or come off your mute and ask us on your microphone. and really just wanted you to finish today's session by thinking that actually entrepreneurs can make the world a better place. Thank you very much.
Can I just add my thanks as well for everyone who's participated, and thank you for making this a fun activity, and thanks Lisa for facilitating this, because you are amazing all the time. Every time you do it, it's just better and better. So thank you. And yeah, any questions like Lisa pointed out, and Vicky before, yeah, Vicky's here. Yeah, it's like magic. Yeah. Any questions about the courses you saw previously about the business school, please pop them in, or just now you're very comfortable talking as well. So please do ask us if there's anything you have.
I wanted to say thank you for your time, that you're like helping us to make decisions and everything. It was so fun doing this activity. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you
for coming.
Even I would like to add something as well. I would just want to say thank you very much for your support. I really enjoyed this session, and it gave me even lots of good ideas as well to start out when I come to university. And yeah, I really enjoyed the session, and thank you very much for your support.
Thank you, Amida. That means a lot. Thank you.
Have we got the Slido?
Oh, I've stopped sharing my screen, haven't I? Hold on
Just
a second. I'm going to put the link in the chat, because it's not on the it wouldn't be clickable anyway, would it, on my slides? So
no, we've just got a little thing that we'd like you to do. If you could, at the end, we're not quite there yet, but pop on that link and just give us your opinion on whether or not you've enjoyed the session, because ultimately, if you think that these are adding value to you as applicants, and obviously these are things that we can do again in the future. But from the course team, so Samia and obviously Lisa, I just want to thank you all for joining us. It's been a pleasure, and we've done a couple of these things, and it's really, really lovely to see students, and ultimately, we get to meet applicants like yourselves, and then we get to welcome you in September, and 3 years from September we'll potentially be graduating you as well. And I was listening in when I disappeared off camera, but I was listening to Samia and Lisa both saying we kind of like to be called by our names. We do kind of do things quite informally, but we are here to support all the way through your program of study. So we really do hope that we've given you a real insight into what our teaching looks like, because ultimately what you see of Lisa here is exactly, and Samir, exactly what they're like in the classroom. So we just really do look forward to welcoming you. Have we got any questions?
I just got a quick question.
Sorry, carry on.
No, sorry, miss, you can carry on.
Oh no, I was just going to say it will be a lot more fun when we're actually in a real classroom together and we can work together in teams. And obviously we're doing this online now because we have to, but I can't wait to actually see you all in person in September. I just wanted to say that.
I just want to say, like, really same thing as well, but for the other opening days events, basically, are you going to send us the emails as well? By saying when it's going to be another opening day, because I would like really to come back as well, just to ask a few questions.
Yeah, so you'll get follow-up emails after this. We'll share the recording of this session as well, so you'll have that to look back on. But also within that email, we'll invite you to future open day dates as well. So you'll get lots of those. We'll keep on sending them to you until you enroll, basically. So if you've got any questions, you can always come back on those emails as well, and it'll go straight to the inquiries team.
Yeah, and one more thing, about the tour you're gonna do on August as well. You said there's gonna be a day as well. Could you bring even families, or it's just like individual?
Yeah, you can bring guests to that open day as well. So when you book online, it'll ask you how many guests you're bringing with you, and obviously we're just adjusting that depending on what happens with COVID, and hopefully the government kind of roadmap will continue. So, but you'll be able to book separate numbers for guests as well, but you can bring family.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, so I'm going to refer you to the chat for a second. Lisa has very kindly popped a link to something called Slido, which is just, you know, a very quick survey of how you found your experience. You do need a pin, and Rebecca has kindly popped that in for us. You're actually able to access. If there is anything else, what I am going to do, I did pop it in earlier on, but if you do have any questions after that are specifically relating to the course, Samir, can you do the same and pop your email address in there for me?
I am doing that now.
So you've got some email contacts for us, but obviously, again, just to refer you back at 6 o'clock. Could you repost the link, Rebecca, for us, please? So you can go and meet the teams or do the Q&A in relation to admissions. International offices there as well, and they'll be able to support you with any of the centralized bits and pieces. But no, it's been an absolute pleasure. We are a little bit early, Rebecca. Are we okay to finish at this stage? Fantastic.
Yeah, you're absolutely fine. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Thank you, Rebecca, and thank you all.